Hello, my name is Theodore, and today I want to talk to you about Nandodots Gyro Duo. First one is brings quote that I found by Panatoine in 2016. The best toys are often the simplest ones because they allow children to be creative and spontaneous. That brings me on to the product that I bring to you today. The Nandodots Gyro Duo is made up of two balls that spin around, rejecting and attracting each other thanks to the magnetic technology set up inside of them. With that quote of the simplest toys, I think just basically what this is. It's a toy where you don't have to think too much about it. You have the two balls and you see that, and you see what it does, the magic straight away. Growing up, I remember growing up as a kid. I'm sure you guys will remember growing up as a kid. You know, you wanted the toys that you didn't have to do a lot of thinking about. The toy is just easily accessible. You could take it wherever you wanted, whether in the backpack or in your pocket. And that's exactly what this is. I can be in a classroom on the way to work. I can be at home, and all I have to do is just play about the two balls, and it's pretty straightforward. As I bring here today, the market summary. From here is a annual expenditure on games and toys and hobbies in the UK from 2005 to 2016. As you can see, from 2005, it was quite low, and there's a bit of a pattern going on here. There's a bit of a wave going up and down, but as you can see, there's certain stages of plateau between 2009 to 2012. Then it starts to rise again. This may be due to the recession that occurred in 2008 in the UK. If people trying to survive during the recession, it may limit the spending that they did on toys and games and spending money more on more important things such as food and electricity and water at home. So that is quite understandable. After 2012, it starts to go up again a bit, and as we reach 2016, it reaches the highest it's been in a while, which I think is a positive sign to show that if the economy doing well, a lot of people are spending money. For example, especially parents want to buy gifts and they want to search, for the best gifts. And with social media going on nowadays, our name could be going around the internet quite with positive reviews. And if parents searching for best toys, if our name comes up, they're more likely just to buy it because they've seen it on the internet. And I think that'd be very beneficial for us. Opportunities. I thought that there are two good opportunities for the business. One would be the Christmas period, and the other would be working with schools. The Christmas period would be a good time because when people continue shopping, trying to buy a present for loved ones, it's the most busiest time period for retail stores. So if we as a business can get our toys, in the biggest toy stores such as Disney, such as Toys R Us, if we can get in the biggest cities such as London, Birmingham, and Manchester, I think it'd be a great way for us to bring more money. Of course, when tourists come to England, they go to the bigger cities such as London and Birmingham, Manchester, and they are, sometimes people may be in a rush. They're panicking to buy them any present they can for the little ones, and or maybe, like I said from before, searching the internet for the best toys around. With our name buzzing around, I think it'd be a great way for us to really get out there. And secondly, working with schools, I think it'd be a great idea, especially with the science departments of schools. I think because of the whole point of this toy is the magnesium side of it. The magnetic, how it shows, how it reacts and attracts. And I think this would be a great way when schools, especially for the science department, just teach, especially the young students, about magnetic fields and magnets. Children learn by taking part in activities, and to be able to learn while having fun is obviously the best way. So I think it would be really beneficial if our target area was to work with schools, especially primary school young children from, of course, from reception all the way to year 6. I don't think it'd be too popular with secondary school children, but 100% definitely with the primary school children. Competition. I think our biggest competitors would be the fidget spinners. According to the Sun, fidget spinners were designed as a stress relieving tool used to help kids deal with anxiety. Similar to Nandodots, fidget spinners have a ball bearing in the center. According to the Daily Telegraph, fidget spinners have become banned in some schools across the UK as they become classroom distractions. I think this can be a bit of a good thing for us, but also a bad thing. I think it would be a good thing for us because if one thing being banned, people are looking for the next thing. People are looking for the next big thing. So I think with fidget spinners being seen in negative light, I think it opens way for new toys to come in and step up. And I think that would be us. I think honestly we're quite similar. And I think that, like I said, with fidget spinners being seen as a negative light, we have no choice but to step up and be the next big toy. But it can also be seen as a bad thing. Like I said, fidget spinners have become classroom distractions. Let's be honest, I think also this can also be seen as a class distraction because it's quite small. People can fit into their pockets and take it to school, and they could be in class or wherever and just playing about with it. So we have to be wary that this can also be seen as a distraction. But I think with fidget spinners being seen as negative light, I think it's definitely our chance to step up and take the limelight. Goals and objectives. There's five-year goals: the sales, income, market share, and social goals. With sales, we're going to look at our current figures and projects. I think our projection shouldn't be a wild fantasy. It should be based on reasonable expectation of sales and growth for half a decade. I think if we try to reach too high with the sales predictions, I think we may fail. And I think if we aim too low, of course, we're not going to be really inspired. So I think it's great to be realistic and also use smart objective to create a goal for us as a business to say what we really want. With the income, of course, that differs from the sales. I think the income includes what you only have left over expenses. The figures are important in two ways. First, you can measure your progress by the percentage. Of course, you increase your income each year over a 5-year period. Secondly, the figure helps you monitor how fast your expenses rise. If the cost of sales rises faster than sales, you may actually sell more and make less. And measuring income helps you avoid this trap that we want to avoid, of course. Market share, like I showed you before, the market share. I think it's important to look at the trend of the markets. I showed you the graph from 2005 to 2016 to show you see the wave. I think it's important. If another recession comes, we have to be wary that we may suffer. I think a lot of retail stores will suffer from the recession, and that would also reflect on us as well. So things like that we have to be wary of. And then social goals. Like I said, with fidget spinners being seen in a negative light, it can also look bad on us. So I think on social media, we have to be aware that if we fall into the same trap of fidget spinners, it can also be seen as a negative way, and of course, sales will drop if that happens. So I think the best opportunity is to work with schools and just set up deals with schools. I think if we just work with schools only rather than being put in stores, I think it'd be much better for us. But either opportunity, working in retail stores or working in schools, would be good in my opinion. As you can see the financial plan. I've just created a little graph to show you the selling price for £30 for each nanodot, and you can see at the end, like I said, it's just a rough idea of how much we can make with the fidget spinners if we sell for £30 each.